Hey there, everybody. Welcome back after a long week of Force of Will to the Teacher's Lounge, your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast featuring myself, Jeremy Franklin, as always, and I am joined by Ryan Miles, way over there. And in the middle, it's Mike Rance. It's Mike Rance.
It is Mike Rance.
Of Deepwood Force of Will. How's it going, buddy?
Going good.
Good.
Sort of Deepwood, I think. Probably.
Kind of still, maybe. Cool.
Yeah.
So one thing that I want to point out.
So yeah.
One thing that I want to point out is thank you guys so much for being here. If you want to go ahead and support the channel, please consider subscribing as well as clicking that join button down below. You're actually noticing something in the chat right now that it is members only. So if we're just trying it out, feel free to send us a message over on Facebook if you think that this is a bad idea. We're trying to figure out a way to potentially drive a little bit more support and engagement on that level of support for the channel. There is that join button down below. It is minimum $2 a month. And just a little statistic for you, 1 month of membership. So if you join the channel for 1 month of membership at $2 a month, we make more money for the channel to support it than if you were to watch about 1,000 videos. Because of the YouTube algorithm. So it's a much easier way for you to support the channel. It's just a little bit of money every month and you'll get direct access to all of the chats. It's not $2 per live stream, let me be clear. It's $2 a month, and that gets you access into the chat for all of our streams that we do, including the GP streams, and access to all of the cool, and you can flex on everybody with all the cool emojis. Plus, the more members we get, the more emojis we get to put in there too. So this is also a hope to drive a little bit of an engagement to get a bunch of emojis unlocked super fast. So please consider clicking that join button. It's right down below. Otherwise, none of our video content will ever be locked behind a paywall. You will always be able to watch us live when we do these. It's just a way for us to kind of encourage you to support the channel a little bit more directly. So,
and let's be very clear about this. This whole thing happened because I went to Jeremy and said that we absolutely need a Hanzo emoji, and he's like, we need more people to sub. So I'm like, all right, Jeremy, do what you have to do. We need a Hanzo emoji for me. So
yep, I tell you what, if we can get the 4 more members that I need by the end of this chat, by the end of this live stream today, 4 more members by the end of this live stream, the next emoji will absolutely be a Hanzo emoji.
Excellent. And the like way to make it pop up will be FOW World Champ, right? Like
yeah, that'll be, yep. Okay,
yeah,
cool. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Glad that that's still on the table.
Wait, who's that?
I'm going to fight you, Mike. Don't make me come over there.
Yeah, get over here. Why not?
I do want to welcome
Leave Ohio.
I do want to welcome most recent member Toby Gaffney, currently in the chat. He just recently joined as a member, so thanks, buddy, for that. But again, so tonight we are talking about a new era of reprints. We saw something in this past week that we were not expecting with the new recent wave of reprints, specifically reprint erratas. Now, we have had something similar in this before in the form of Sand Dragon being a sand and a dragon. That was just a typing reprint. This is a reprint errata that functionally is going to affect whether or not the card is usable in any way, which is the form of Charm of the Princess and Space-Time Anomaly have both been reprinted and are now mage arts, which means that presumably they will be able to be supported by Valentina's Regalia. Gentlemen, first thoughts on seeing that change.
Oh shit.
It excites me for what could be done in the future. The idea that we're getting these reprints and we're adding on the typing, imagine if Flame of the Outer World was a sword art. Just think about that for a second. That would be, yeah. Just everyone chat, calm down. I know this is just a YouTube and we're trying to be kid friendly, but just imagine Flame of the Outer World as a sword art. I think Space-Time Anomaly as a mage art is really cool. I do like Space-Time Anomaly a lot. I think the card's amazing. I think that we've talked about in the past couple of episodes just how much more Force of Will is than it used to be. So I do wonder if Space-Time will pop up in any super competitive decks. And I know if you've seen me on Facebook, I have that opinion. But just the avenue of what else could be out there is really what's getting me excited for this more than anything.
Yeah, for sure. How many times in the so Mike, go ahead before I give my post. Sorry, go.
Oh, what? Oh, did I? Was I supposed to add something onto that?
I don't know. You can just say
what's your
same.
hype level?
You can say big mood, I guess. I don't know.
My hype level's pretty solid. Like I like Space Time Anomaly. Blue Black is one of my favorite color combinations in Force of Will. I'm a sucker for Valentina. She's gonna be great no matter what anybody says. No matter who the top decks are. I don't care if Perfect Loki is a blue black card. Doesn't matter. It's not Valentina. It's okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
All of the
But
blue
also-
black cards have the problem of just being better in like a Loki deck, right? So you got some uphill battles to go.
Yeah, but
with the
Perfect
main
Loki
cards,
has
it
to
helps
deal
a
with.
lot.
Perfect Loki doesn't has to deal with don't cheat now.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like,
Zapini.
I mean,
like
how important is harvesting season for Loki? Right, currently.
not.
so. Usually, yes. If you're up against aggro, harvesting season is very important. But me and Derrick have been in like, when you're in the lab and then like you spill something and then you're just like in this chemical fog, and that's really more where you are than actually doing any research. That's kind of where we've been, and we've been playing Loki decks like without harvesting season and like with Return of God into like Athenia and like Kaguya is in the deck, and that's been kind of where we're at. So it hasn't even played harvesting season. So like getting my harvesting season canceled is bad, but if I can reasonably play a Loki deck without even playing it, then I could probably play it with harvesting season and still not feel bad about it. But that deck, in my opinion, has not been performing well. I think that the blue green stones should help a lot, but yeah. So
Derrick is calling you out. He's saying, "Don't reveal the spice." I mean, we've shown it a little bit on the. We've shown it a little bit already on some of the Rogues Guild stuff. So I think my question is, how much were we actually ever playing Charm of the Princess when it was first printed? Never, right? Never.
No, Mike.
Mike?
None of us were playing Charm of the Princess.
I mean, it's Mike. So, Mike, how
get it.
consistently were you actually playing that card
In one deck.
in one deck?
Which
Cool.
deck was that?
How many
I wanna
decks?
know.
How many
Wait,
decks
what do you
has
mean, which deck was that? You don't know the spice?
how?
I don't.
The Grizz Ballista secret technique on an opponent's stone, charm of the princess it to steal it forever?
All right, next
Yeah,
topic.
next topic.
No.
So
No, it's the next topic, because
But, like-
I could do this in Wanderer using Val's Regalia, allegedly. So,
But so the cool thing is, I think it brought back a card that when I first saw Charm of the Princess being double base blue and then X, I'm like,
yeah, terrible.
this is like super expensive and super uncomfortable, and when am I ever going to consistently use it? Now I'm looking at Charm of the Princess being like, you mean I can pay for X cost and like very quickly? Color me interested. Like, I'm actually excited about trying and experimenting with that card.
you know
and
what
I
else
think
I want to do, though, with that?
what?
What else?
Since it's also a major art where you can cast it using,
Uh-huh.
will produced by not only allegedly Valentina's Regalia, but also Caduceus can pay for the
X cost.
X cost.
Yeah, any of the major ones
Steal
can produce for
four
the
drops
X cost.
essentially 2 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
In a format defined by ETB effects, you can take their 8/8 if you want, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Correct.
I won't take that away from you.
Yeah.
Play this 4-color deck. You're on it, Mike. I got you.
Yeah, you know, I got
But
it.
I think
Listen.
the thing that I like the most about putting this typing on is exactly what you talk about you've introduced that idea that we're open to the idea of boosting or like reutilizing
Yeah.
those older cards that were maybe cool and thematic but not necessarily something that people played around with. So like there's a lot of spells I think that I would want to see to be able to experiment more by making them a sword art or a mage art. And some potential reprints that could come out of that could make it particularly cool. Especially if we have some of the cooler X cost spells that we've had in the past. Like making some of the X cost spells, there have been some really bad ones.
If you give me Valentina's Reach as a mage art, I will play Space Time Anomaly. I will that won't even be a
That's what I was about to
question.
say. Yep.
Valentina's
That's
Reach
it.
would be nuts. That is like probably my favorite card in Force, so I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
Ooh.
say-
It might be, yeah.
yeah, so like things like that I think get me thinking about older cards as well, which just builds me on this continual hype train for like now I'm actually kind of excited to see what the reprints might be. Right? So when AO1 came out and we saw that they were going to be reprints, a lot of the community was kind of like,
Yeah.
And we like accepted it and we moved on because we were excited by the new stuff, but we were just kind of like, oh, it's a day of reprint spoilers, whatever. now we've seen that even the reprints can be different, and so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, color me interested. I'm interested in every day's worth of spoilers now. I want to see what's going to come next, and that's cool, right? Like that's good to know.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it just
my
lets me
big
bust
thing
out
was,
some
like-
old promos.
Even when we got Gwyber back, I was like, oh, we're getting like cards. Like we're getting stuff. And then like we got Guinevere, and I was like, hold up. All right, Force Will, like you were struggling there for a bit, but you have my attention. And I'm like, oh, here's Space Time Anomaly. Also, it's better. And I'm like, ooh. Like,
I think I had
is
this
just
conversation.
good.
What was the conversation I had with you, Mike, earlier today? I was like, hey, Mike, how about this? And you were like, I'm listening. And I was like, hey, here's this. And you're like, okay, I'm 75% interested. And I told you one more thing, and you were like, okay, I'm in. Like,
Yep.
and I think
I just think a lot of these have a lot of. I'm like looking through the database right now at just multi-attribute chance, and I'm like, I forgot some of these cards existed. Would this card be good if it cost 2 less?
Curse the QB? Who knows?
I just pulled that card. Like, what does this card even do? Cancel target non-resonator unless its controller pays X. If that spell was canceled this way, get them all out of there. I forgot that card existed, honestly. But like, but I'm sitting here just saying, like, you know what? Return of God is probably the best card in New Frontiers. And if you just give black-green Curse of QB, I'm like, wow, that like actually shuts down the entire deck, and all I have to do is leave open. And I'm like, well, that's kind of really, really, really good, actually.
that'll
So-
probably be a Blade Art, too, to be honest. Because it'll
that's
probably
right, yeah.
Cause it'll probably be related to Rezard, who's probably related to Sword Arts more than Mage Arts, but who
Scythe
knows?
Arts, come on, man.
Scythe Arts! Hey, man.
Seal of Wind and Light, like that would.
Seal-
be,
okay,
they
stop.
they might be
Stop,
able to do
leave.
it.
Seal of Wind and Light as a
Yeah,
Mage
yeah,
Art
that's
can't
good.
happen. Get out of here.
Faria summon though, that's doable.
Faria summon would be cool.
Oh,
But that's
What
a
else
Lapis
would be
Cluster
good?
card, right?
Yeah,
Lapis.
are they not reprinting Lapis Cluster cards? Well, so was Curse of the QB. So
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's true.
wasn't
And
Space Time
Valentina's
Anomaly
Reach.
Lapis? No, Space Time was
TMS.
Alice Cluster, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Valentina's Reach was Lapis Cluster as well. That was when all the dual color stuff was really hitting home. It was
Yeah,
like-
all the
That
dual
was
color
really
stuff
cool.
was
but we had a lot of single color, like, cool spells that would be interesting to see, I think, as those different arts, which I think is this kind of discussion, like the nostalgia, but also not just nostalgia, because it's like it could apply to us right now, I think is the kind of buzz that's really just stoking a fire in a lot of players right now. And
Wait,
there's
hold
just
on. Didn't
so much unknown.
Didn't Thunder get reprinted last set?
Thunder was reprinted instead of Lightning Strike, and the reason why is, particularly I think the reason why is because we have cards in the format that give the player barrier, so it
Yeah.
makes more sense to have the Burn-esque Thunder reprint be the one that targets a player.
The thing
Yeah.
is, though, with that specifically, like with that train of thought, we can't limit ourselves to thinking that this is only going to be Alice Cluster reprints, because
That's
Thunder
true.
was Grim Cluster.
That's true.
So
Thunder was
it's-
Grim Cluster, yeah.
It's a
I'm
one
thinking-
Grim... Give me Cheshire Cat back.
thank you.
Ah!
Don't-
I play
That'd be
Cheshire Cat,
cool.
pal.
I'd bring Cheshire Cat. Jeez,
Adam
Louise.
Raleigh back.
If they would...
Oh, bring
leave
Adam
again.
Raleigh.
I'm going to kick right out of this chat
No,
right
I
now.
wouldn't do that. Are you kidding me?
Anything
Raleigh
that's
would let you
incarnate,
range.
anything that's
Yeah.
incarnate can go and never come back.
No,
give me
I want
Nyarlathotep with
Thank
Alter
you.
and Power of Mortality and Layla in the format. That sounds like a good time.
no.
All right, I lied when I said that whatever it was, Valentina's Reach is my favorite card. Nyarlathotep is actually just hands down my favorite card. Always has been. Valentina's Reach is my favorite card I never
Once
actually
we get,
played.
all right, here's my prediction right now. Once we get the black white ruler, whoever that's going to be,
Probably
my prediction's
Gil
gonna be
Lapis.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably Gil Lapis. Once that happens, Seth is getting reprinted.
Seth
Well,
the
that's-
Arbiter.
Oh,
my God.
excuse me. I
Let's
think
do it.
everyone in this chat would be totally fine getting Seth the Arbiter reprinted.
I would be fine with it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That boy's good.
Oh,
That boy's
Cheshire
good.
Cat's a cat, isn't she? Hold on.
No, she's a fairy tale.
She's a
That's what I
fairy
thought,
tale.
yeah. None of the cats
She
are
ain't
any
cat.
good. It's only Tama, right?
Tom is a cat.
It's just Tama. Reprint Tama. Reprint Adam Raleigh. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it would be reprinting Familiar of Holy Wind.
Yeah,
Oh, of course,
yeah,
no.
not
Yeah,
before it had a
of course.
name.
I think Familiar Holy Wind is a cat. I know
Yeah, that
Tama
was also
is.
a cat. I think they're both cats. I'm pretty sure.
Thomas a
Yep.
yeah, Thomas a cat.
Tama's a
not
cat, yeah.
Familiar
Beast.
slash cat.
Yep. McKay is not a cat.
McKay is
McKay's
not a cat. McKay's a beast.
Yeah, McKay is not a cat. That's
I
like,
remember
trust
that
me, when I
because
was
I was trying
building
to find
Cat
good
Tribal
beasts.
as my first draft of the deck for Worlds, I'm literally just like, Bastet is insane. This card is bonkers. I want to play Kotaro. What other cats are in the form?
Correct.
It's just like,
Bastet is
wow.
nuts.
Yeah, and then McKay wasn't a cat, and I was like, I want to die. I hate Force of Will. This company's a joke. This is awful. I'm not even going to Japan. I don't get cats. This is bullshit. But it worked.
Yeah. So this We've seen so far this week in terms of, other than the day that we saw Space Time Anomaly and Charm of the Princess, were there any other reprints this week?
No, the reprints, just Strangers, I think. Man,
I'm trying to think. I think there was one in the Prisius def.
Thank.
Beaver.
Beaver.
They reprinted Beaver.
Oh, thank yeah.
Also, can we also just talk about how the number of different people who have brought to me so many different combinations of one-drops that people are going to try to grab off of Magnus Beast in the span of a day? Like, that alone has sparked an entire conversation and dissertation process. People are just like, oh, what if you grab Layla and Dark Atlas? What if you grab this and this? What if you grab this and that? And then someone today, I think it was Patrick in the Rogues chat, was like, what if we just grabbed two what's her names? The pump 5/5 to a green resonator. If you
Arwen?
have three, what if we just grabbed two Arwens?
That's what I heard so far. Layla and Dark Alice is like, that's probably the best two resonators. But then you're a 4-colored deck, right? No,
right.
It's not.
Someone's just, oh man, someone's saying give me Lapis Darkstorm as a mage art.
Oh,
Derrick.
My God.
Oh, that'd be good.
That would be
like card hand size is so large right now. It's disgusting. Like I don't even know if you could take the time to play Lapis Darkstorm. Like just getting a +1 is like not enough advantage. That's just the life we live right now. It's absolutely bonkers.
So my theory, I'm angry that we still don't have Majin Dark Elf to get off of that beast that summons 2/1/1s, because that's in 3 mana 18/18.
Oh god, yeah.
12 of it is swiftness.
Majin Dark Elf would probably make Chamimi playable really good, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Black, red, green.
So let's talk. So we have these three rulers. We have Machina, we have Prisia, and we have Valentina. We know Valentina's Mage Arts. We know that Prisia is Blade Arts. We haven't seen anything outside of Machina himself for Machina.
Machine Arts.
So we got no idea there.
I'm gonna assume
I thought he was Mage Arts.
I'm pretty sure he's Mage Arts.
Oh no, he's blue green. Don't listen to me.
He's blue green.
I'm gonna assume he's Mage Arts just because of we got 2 Sword Arts and 1 Mage Art last time. I feel like we're gonna get 2 Mage Art, 1 Sword Art this time.
Maybe
that would make sense.
That's a good theory. So let's look back at let's take some hypotheticals and let's look back at this old cards. Or think about these old cards as much as we can. Mike, I'm drawing on your Wanderer expertise. What are some erratas, or some errata prints? I'll call them errata prints. That would you think would be cool to make a Mage Art or Sword Art for these 3 rulers in particular?
For these 3 in particular, let's see.
So what is that? Blue, green, red, white.
Blue. It's blue, green. Blue, red. Green, black, and blue.
Blue, green, black, and blue.
I personally would like to see Unseen Pressure.
That'd be interesting.
Oh.
I don't know if I would say a mage. No, actually, no, that's pretty good with Mage Art.
I think Unseen Pressure would be cool as a Mage Art, and here's why. Because we have a lot of one-drop quick cast, quick cast Blue Strangers. So the idea of for Valentina being able to play her Regalia, and then maybe that turn be able to play Unseen Pressure plus a Stranger like in the same turn, like that might be pretty cool. Because there's some weirdness with the cost of Blue Strangers is weird, where you kind of feel like you're kind of wasting your Regalia will a little bit based on what's happening. So it's like, so that'd be kind of cool. I've got an
idea for trait soup.
All right, I've got one fake answer and one real answer.
Fake answer, go.
Which one? You have to guess which one's the fake answer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Real answer, okay. So my 2 options are Glimpse of Kaguya and Law of Silence.
So the fake answer is Law of Silence, and the real answer is Glimpse.
Talking about. I love to not let my opponent play the game. Yeah, it's Law of Silence. So Glimpse of Kaguya. We are getting we do have like Erendite right now. We did just get
go back to Grim Cluster though.
The half fluorite on the Stranger, but like Glimpse of Kaguya stopping activated abilities and having it be a Mage Art, so it's actually like decently playable in those kind of decks. And it draws a card. They're like activated abilities are just unchecked right now.
Yeah, they are. So, correct. That's correct. It just says cancel an activate ability, right? So you can make it.
Yeah, cancel an activated ability, draw a card.
So would you make it a Mage Art?
Yeah, I think we'd have to, right?
Yeah, Mage Art makes sense.
That's what blue is right now.
Yeah.
Or unless you want to make it a Sword Art because of like the
Faria.
Because of Faria. But I think Mage Art makes a bit more sense.
Yeah. So my idea.
Mage Arts are more reactive.
For my idea.
Sure, go for it.
It's gonna be It's gonna be trait soup. Black Moonbeam as a combination Ancient Magic and Mage Art.
All right, so that's your fake one. Which one's your real one?
I'm glad you caught that. What was it? I'm blanking on the name. The Valentina spell, the 3-cost where you bounce something back to the hand, and you discard a card for Awakening, and then you bounce another one back.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Say it one more time.
For 3 mana, you bounce something back, and you discard a card to bounce a second thing back as an Awakening.
It was an instant speed.
Yeah.
losing the name.
Valentina's Reproach. I actually don't know.
That might actually be pretty close. So like you make it into a Regalia +1 double bounce and a sack a card to get double bounce. I'm about that.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty
it's
cool.
not terrible. And you load the grave for your perfect
Is that free?
because you're blue-black.
No, that's not it.
No, it's not free. It's
What cluster was this in?
Valentina's Resistance.
Yes, close. Valentina's Resistance.
Okay, so it's actually 2 mana, and then the Awakening is blue and discard a card. So actually, it's even better than I thought it was.
Blessing of Yggdrasil was Alice cluster, right?
Was Alice cluster.
Yeah,
Is that Alice?
I was just passing
If-
through it.
If they're taking Prisia in the direction of playing 4 Sacred Beasts, making Blessing of Yggdrasil a Blade Art could be pretty cool, because then you can like play like a single copy of like the stone that you need for like Tiger or something like that, and then like use Blessing to go grab it.
It's true.
Or something like that.
That also does seem relatively insane when you just go like Regalia onto get your enters and then just play Blessing, and you're just like, well, now I got an extra stone and I'm untapping on 4 next turn with my Regalia.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying
Really
it's
good.
I'm not saying it should happen, but it's just an idea of what
It could happen.
I don't really like Prisia. To me, when I think Prisia, right, I don't think a ton about her spells.
Mhm.
That's hard for me to like wrap my brain around. Like
She
Beast
has
Queen's
beasts.
Beastly Attack, maybe.
Beastly Attack could be a sword.
Beastly Attack could be a sword art potentially.
The Beast Queen's counterattack looked like pretty good.
Yeah,
That
that's-
was
give
Lapis
it a target.
though.
Was it? No, it's Alice.
Yeah, that's Alice.
Was it?
Beast
Okay,
Queen's
Beast Queen's counterattack. You're right.
Target J-Res gets +4/+4, and then you fight something.
Yeah, Beast Queen's counterattack could be cool.
Spells now. You guys got me interested.
Although at this point in time in the story, she's maybe not the queen, but interesting. Well, Mike's gone. And he's back.
All right, Disassembly Line.
Ooh.
As an additional cost to play this card, banish a machine. Reveal cards from the top of your main deck until you reveal a machine. Put that card into your field and shuffle the rest into your main deck. So we just have another way to get out Makoto. you know?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Oh boy.
Is that a void card or no? It's blue.
It's blue 1 and 1.
Blue.
Yeah, it was unplayable because it cost 3, and like
'Cause it
you would
costs
just
3.
stack your deck full of
Ooh.
like 1 and 2 drop machines. Yeah.
Shadow Flame.
Shadow Flame.
Yeah, it's just bad space-time anomaly.
Oh.
No. Like it's got Remnant. You don't draw a card. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now. It also doesn't reduce attack. No, not about that.
No.
Great Holy Sealing Wave. That was a card.
Wait, what about Foresee? Just draw 2 for 0, essentially?
Oh yeah, that could be cool. That was a card for a while.
Yeah.
I think like there's so
Fair
many
magic.
potential options, and it just there's Keen Sense, but I don't think you can bring it back. Like, wouldn't bringing back Keen Sense automatically signal that we're going to bring back standbys?
They put Crack a Shark in the memorial cards. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think they're trying to bring it back. I wouldn't
rulebook.
expect to see it.
Trigger's in the rulebook.
Yeah, but I wouldn't expect to see any standbys. They didn't.
They're not
really
gonna
want
they're not
to
gonna
keep
remove
going.
stuff from the rule book after it's rotated out. That doesn't make sense.
Didn't they? Were there any? Hang on.
No, I don't
No,
think
they
they've
just
ever
keep
removed
everything in
anything.
the rules for Wanderer. So like,
There's
it's always
no stealth. There's no stealth in the rulebook, but there is trigger, which is the weirdest part of that whole thing.
that's because stealth is just a mechanic, and I'm pretty sure stealth is in the rulebook, but I don't know for sure.
It's not.
But yeah, there's like a lot of
I'm
really
thinking
good
about
options.
that.
Like
I know.
through.
The card that lets you draw. Oh, rewriting laws
Ooh.
as a blade art.
Mm.
Rewriting laws as a blade
Ooh.
art would be pretty dope.
Ooh.
Would that be dope or terrifying?
I mean, it doesn't
maybe a
ramp
little
you.
bit
It
of
just
both.
gives you 5 color for a turn and draws you a card.
As a sword art though, you're putting it with Shakti. Means you could copy it, and I'm trying to think if that's.
I found what I want.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if that like causes any problems, and I don't think it does, but the idea was there.
Yo, okay. Hear me out, guys.
Okay.
0 mana laying the foundation.
That's the
what is
look
that
at the
card?
top. That's the draw 2, put 1 back on top, right?
No, draw 3, put 2 back on top.
Draw 3, put 2 back on top.
Oh my god, does that card cost any more than 1?
It costs 2,
It costs 2.
and it's instant speed.
God, this card's terrible. No. I wouldn't play this.
Instant speed, though, man.
I can't see like a reprint happening though, because they're printing like a bunch of commons, as like pack filler and stuff.
Exactly. No, I'm not saying it's like.
Yeah.
I think the big part about this conversation. I think the big part about this conversation that I really want to hit on is that, simply by attaching that archetype to those two reprint spells, we are now actively discussing so much and have interest in the reprints, like more so than we ever did before. And so like that, I think, is the biggest takeaway from that. And I think was a smart decision, because now I'm definitely more invested in this set for like the entirety of the set rather than just what the new cards are.
Wait, hold on, I got a message from Todd. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd. So I think that was just a good decision. I mean,
I want now?
And it cost them nothing. Cost them literally nothing to add those. What?
I realized what I want.
What do you want?
Ring of Fire as a mage art.
Ring of Fire?
Card?
Each player discards their hand, shuffles all magic stones from the graveyard into the Magic Stone deck.
Oh my god. I can't tell you how many decks I tried to make in New Frontiers with that card and Zero. The card that says your opponent can't draw more than a card per turn.
Or you reset the hand?
I spent so many hours trying to build this deck, and then it turned out that Fox and Prissy just beat it every time. Who would have thunk?
Oh no! Whatever would have given.
Yeah, that was the format. So, yeah.
Yeah.
If it comes back now, though, all you have to do is lose to Prisia and Perfect Loki. Easy.
Yeah, no.
Done. Piece of cake. Yeah, I think that's the part that I'm.
Ring of Fate shuffles everything back into the deck, so you counter Perfect Loki.
Ta-da! Perfect. And then they only have one
Solved!
card. Yeah.
They've reprinted 2 Remnant cards right now. What's the second Remnant card that they've reprinted? Space-Time Anomaly. Derrick, tell me what the second Remnant card they've reprinted.
I don't think they have. We've only seen like the.
I think it's just Space-Time.
Yeah.
The Remnant spell from set 1, Invasion of Belisarius, was a new card. That's not a reprint.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Forbidden Spell of the Undead Lord. That would be cool with Rezard.
That was cute.
The other thing is too is like now I'm even more hyped for set 3, because set 3 is probably going to have Arla and Rezard, and there's so many cool spells in there that I'd be like, yeah, give me that. Give me that as a mage art. Give me that as a blade art.
I would take Invigoration of the Winged Lord.
Yeah, there's so many
That
cool
card's
cards.
cool.
The new mage and art that's from Remnant. Oh no, sorry. I don't know if Rapid. Oh yeah, Rapid Growth. Rapid Growth was spoiled with Remnant.
Scott just messaged me. He said, "What about Last Drop as a
Last Drop, dude? That card was so good.
Get a 2-drop or less back at instant speed for 2.
Yeah,
Get
I
back
love
Perfect
Last
Loki
Drop.
in Speed for 2.
Stop. Everything is just about Perfect Loki right now.
Yeah.
Basically, welcome to the Perfect Loki show. We've got Dark Depths allegedly coming out.
Yeah, I'm still.
No, that got
to see,
confirmed.
like, what the
Oh, it did?
format.
Okay, cool. Confirmed.
Yeah, no, all the dual stones are already confirmed, so I think we're good on that front. But yeah, no, I think there's just a whole lot of different things that like could come out, and there's a lot of things like, especially because like Space Time is just like a crowd favorite. Like I wonder if they're gonna keep to that or keep true to that and just keep going for like cards that people just want to see, whether or not they're like good or impactful in the current meta. Just like the nostalgia of it, right? And I think we did talk about like how this is a great time to get back in if you're an old player. Well, like these reprints coming back are like making people be like, oh, hold on a second. Like this
Yeah, I think just this week alone, I've had like 4 people be like, okay, so really, what's going on? I'm about it.
Yeah, we got Brandon Bremont coming to Vegas.
Yeah, Brandon Bremont's just coming to Vegas.
He's like, hold on, Guinevere's back? Like, Space Time's back? Like, this is my time. Like,
Yep. I messaged, so I doubt they come back because they're very invested in other games at this moment, but I sent messages to both Dell and Tyler of the Ogres, and I was like, hey boys, Space Time's back, and both of them were like, hold up. You got me for a second.
See those guys again, yeah.
So I think what you talk about how these reprints that are suddenly more playable because of that subtyping and what that potentially opens up, it also, to me, I think builds some coolness at the local level, because yes, at the high-end competitive, we haven't seen what the high-tier decks are competitively at this point. When we have an idea what they're probably going to consist of, or like what key cards we're going to see a lot of. And so like things like Space Time might not be impactful at that level, but a card like Space Time introduced at the local level has an option to make it very cool, fun, unique format. Like things like that, or like Charm of the Princess, or, you know, all these other things. And I think we've talked about this before, about how this set is very, despite being smaller sets, has been very cool for seeing the variety that people at the local level are trying and building and like actually being able to put together. Like it's not like this ruler, these 40 cards, that's it. You know, there's so many different ways to build it. Even looking at Machina himself, right? So Machina is the buy a box ruler. Machina has the modes, the 2 bonus modes of 2 tiny machine tokens, or make Maribella Type 0 really big. So that signals to me you have 2 strategies right on there. You have the go wide machine style, like old school, or similarly, you even mentioned this to me earlier, Ryan, the idea of IU Machina, right?
Yeah.
So like those are 2 very different like styles of deck, and there's probably a bunch of stuff in between that people can play around with. Like I play at my locals. Last week we had 7. The week before that we had 15, because we had a bunch of people come from out of town. But like even among those 7, even among those 15, there was still a ton of variety of people trying and using fun stuff. So then you add to the mix, we get old school cards that I absolutely love, and new players get to experience them, and I don't have to like take a hit to use them again. That gets me even more hyped, right? Because if Space Time wasn't a mage art, when people are playing like sword art, you know, instant speed removal spells, I wouldn't even think about Space Time. I'd be like, cool, it's back, I'm not playing it. But you make it a mage art, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'm about this life.
Stuff now. Yeah.
So
No, I get you.
I think it's that to me is the best part about that subtyping. It's just like the potential influence it has outside of the super competitive level for the excitement and deck building opportunities.
Well, of course, like none of this is going to matter when they reprint March of the Machine Lord. So
stop. If anything, March of the Machine Lord is probably going to get the Flame King Shout treatment, because we've already seen Flame King Shout be put on a mode of a card. We've seen Sprinting of the Beast Lady be put on a card.
Right.
So, like, if anything, March of the Machine Lord might get something like that, which means it's slightly dumbed down in power and tacked on to a not free thing.
Right. I feel like if they were going to do that to a machine card, I'd like to see Maria's Bella's work, which is like the just 5 mana draw 2 that like costs 1 less for each machine you control.
Just tack
That's
the
like
draw 2 card of draw 2 effect on it.
I feel like machines are scary enough right now where I wouldn't want to see March of the Machine Lord. just blue go wide is like pretty good, and if they just like had that, that'd be pretty good. But like I think like the draw engine and just like a reduced cost for each machine you play would be really neat. That's just like one of my favorite machine cards of all time, because I never played like dumb hit you 1-drop machines. I always like tried to play Maribella's work and the Maribella's Steel Doll or the Insane Doll and the 2-drop and do graveyard stuff, and it never worked. But like that was what I wanted it to be.
I was trying to have fun in a format that wasn't fun.
Yeah, I hate trying to have fun, dude. I have to like try hard and try to build good decks and win stuff.
What an idiot!
Yeah,
God.
Aaron Miles killed my locals. All right, what do you want from me?
I'm going back into the chat.
Miles kills a lot of things. It's fine.
Let's see. Someone's saying House of the Old Man.
What is that card?
It's the one that if you like while it's on the field, your stones can produce any color, but it was like a 3-drop edition or something.
2-drop edition.
2-drop edition.
Yeah. Magic stones you control can produce one of any color. Is that the? There's a couple of variants of this card, right? Because there's also.
So I think it's unlikely, but potential.
There was also the Yggdrasil green red. There was the green red Yggdrasil that did this.
Sisay Perseus Barrier.
Yeah.
All of your stones are treated as all of your stones, and then they get to produce anything.
And then because of the resonance.
Yeah. That was Oh, resonance. Let's bring that back. Yeah.
Stop.
No thanks. Resonance, except
oh
for
my god! Imagine like
parts.
resonance coming back when all those little 1-drop dorks from DBV just like turn the magic stones into other magic stones. And just imagine there's a card that says like as long as you control this card, when you resonance for fire magic stone, do this. When you resonance for water magic stone, do this. And then you just like
It's Magna.
play this like blue.
You've already cracked the code on what Magna's gonna be. Magna's gonna be the resonance ruler. We're done.
That's it. It's just like, and you're just playing. You're playing 4 of each of the mana dorks and just like 5 color stone base, and you're just completely trying to play the game off of the resonance triggers. That'd be fun. That would be interesting.
So
Please no.
if you could pick, we know we're getting beasts / 4 sacred beasts. We've seen a little bit of Valentina's resonator base in terms of like the having the barrier, making their stuff potentially cheaper, that kind of stuff. And we know that machines exist. So
They do.
in the further discussion, if you were to bring back some reprints that are not arts, what would you like
some
to see?
resonators?
Yeah, like some resonators.
I'm trying to think of like resonators that Valentina used to play, and it's like the deck only played 3 resonators. It was like Captain Hook, Shade, and Abdul. So if we could see Abdul come back, just fuck Kaguya, turn off Perfect Loki, Athenia take a hike, just give me Abdul, then that would be...
Abdul
that's the
coming back
world
would be
I
pretty
wanna live
cool. I would admit
Yeah.
that'd be pretty sweet.
Mhm.
Shade, I think, was Shade Alice Cluster? He was Lapis.
There's a Vingolf,
Yeah.
Vingolf 2.
Yeah, Vingolf 3.
Yeah, he was only Vingolf. Yeah, Shade was only
Sorry, no, there were
Vingolf.
only 2 Vingolfs. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Vingolf 2.
We don't talk about
Vingolf
yeah,
1, Vingolf, Vingolf 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What if they randomly bring back a reprint of a card from Vingolf, huh?
Vingolf.
Listen, hey, I would take back Susie Evans. That card's great. It's for a format.
I could not name a card that is in Vingolf 2 except for
want Prego Lady back.
Schemes of the Empire. That's the only card I actually know.
No, I want Prego Lady back because my Prego TK is still a...
Hammer of the
Fine,
Hammer of the
yeah.
Valkyrer. You can't have Black
There-
Moonbeam, but you can have Hammer of the Valkyrer as a
Yeah,
mage art.
there-
Oh, it had Class G's tank. Never mind.
Oh
That was
yeah,
a
it
card.
did have
Class
G's
G's
tank.
tank was a card.
Let's bring back
Can't
Class
get
G's
rid of
tank.
Class G's tank.
Yeah.
Oh, I would take back fucking Alice, the Avatar Alice.
The 3-drop?
No, the 6-drop.
Oh, the 6-drop
we-
Avatar of the Seven Lands?
Without
I really
Deep
don't like the Alices that we have in the current format. I would not like any more, please. Thank you. No more.
Let's get more Alice's.
We
Just
have
more
enough.
Wednesday art. Just more Wednesday
All
art.
right, but if we bring back an Alice, we have to ban one of the current ones. So I'll tell you.
Oops. Oh, no.
I don't make the rules, all right? I don't make the rules.
Dark
Just-
Alice. I'll ban Dark Alice.
All right.
Dark Alice doll? Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Dark Alice doll.
Yeah,
No,
it's
that's a puppet. All right.
It's technically
That
in
one
the
doesn't-
format. You got you on that
Yeah, but
one.
it doesn't increase the Dark Alice counter, okay? It's a doll. It's different.
It's
Yeah,
fair.
okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Flak Dragon. Bring back some Musketeers. Sniping from the blind spot. Was
Just
from
bring
that
back...
angle.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let's just bring back Priscia Pursuant of Exploding Flame. I'm sure that should be fine.
I
in
thought
that
about it.
format.
It probably would be, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that card would be decent.
Yeah.
It would make the Flame King shout probably feel a little bit more aggressive, I think.
It also,
Yeah.
I think, would make these decks that like are paying their own life for stuff a little bit more concerned.
Yeah.
Because there's not a ton of like good burn right now, like actually good burn
Mhm.
right now.
I'm okay with that.
The Awakening of the Flame King is probably our best burn spell right now because it's a sword art. So these decks that are paying life are not super concerned about it. So the idea of bringing back something like... Because if Kyron was here, he would tell me bring back Split. And I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But
I don't bring back anything that says split.
Bring back Split, make it a mage art. All right, good.
Oh, no.
Priscia's Pursuant of Exploding Flame, though, as that kind of just like, whoops, you didn't kill me and you've paid your own life to be really low.
Mhm.
Like,
Hit him with Priscia, then space time your own Priscia to deal 5.
and draw a card,
I-
turn it into 12.
Yo.
We have Rapid Growth now, too, so then you've got, like, potential ton of damage there. Like,
You know what I want?
Rapid Growth would be pretty cool.
I want Celestial Wing Seraph back.
Just wait until Arla comes back, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think I want Celestial Wing Seraph. That card costs 5.
I want it.
Um,
Five.
My problem with 5-drop cards is you have to be better than Corora for me to even think about you, and I don't think Celestial
Oops.
Wing Seraph fits that bill.
Nope.
Priscia's Derrick earlier mentioned Priscia's Call to Action. I think that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Does he
that'd
come
be
back?
interesting.
Priscia's Call to Action.
Free,
Zero-
give it
zero
swiftness and
cost,
first strike,
draw
and you
card.
draw a card.
Didn't we already get that back?
No.
No, we got
That's
Rapid
other-
Growth.
I have no idea what's been spoiled, dude.
Pay
This card's
attention.
been reprinted.
Has Rutotsuki?
No, that was Vingolf 3. I lied.
has
I looked in the
Rutotsuki
database and I
been
saw 2
confirmed?
copies of it. What was the
Bless
question?
you.
Oh, Ritosker?
Yeah.
He has not been reprinted. That would be a cool one to see come back.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
like him. I like
Gives
Koski.
it gives your wind resonators quick cast.
Yeah, it gives Wind Resonators quick cast. Beasts you control can't be targeted by spells or abilities your opponent controls during their turn. And whenever another Resonator enters the field, he gains +2/+2 until end.
That might be really cool with like the with like Magna, the like one that gets you 2 1-drops. We talked
Yeah.
before about that idea of playing the
Getting a
Arwen combo.
Oscar off of it.
So you get Rat.
One-
No. You get Rat. You have Rat in the
Uh-huh.
early game. Your opponent can't target it on their turn, and it's probably sitting there. And then you
And then you
flash
get
in
the-
Magna. Flash in Magna on their turn. Get 2 Arwens. They can't be targeted
two more
during your
Arwens.
opponent's. And then-
okay.
They can target the Arwens technically because it's only beasts you control, but
And then you play like a Chamimi dude that untaps when
Or-
the guy dies, and then
or
you
you play the
eventually
worst
double
idea.
Arwen it. Oh god, you have worse ideas? I thought I was already getting pretty bad, but hit me with it.
You play Ratatskir and Machina, and then turn 2 you play Maribel type 0. You get 2 things, and he gains +4/+4.
Isn't it only wind resin? Oh,
Whenever
okay.
another Resonator enters your field.
Gotcha. We're getting deep down the rabbit hole.
But I'm so excited about that. Like even go down the rabbit hole that way just gets me excited. And I think
Oh, unpopular opinion. I want Scion of Ancient Lore back.
what?
Scion of Ancient
Oh,
Lore?
the 3-drop 7/7, the Siege Rhino.
Cards.
What?
No, the one that just you.
Yeah,
you,
it's +4 -4.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
+4
Seagull
-4.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay? I don't know what the fuck Zero Trino does. You think I'm playing bad games?
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that card's terrible. That would be
I know it
the
is, but I
complete
want it
waste of
back. I
space.
like it.
I'd be about that
Okay.
card.
You just want a
It's
full
just
art version of it. That's the
badass
goal. How do you guys feel about the strangers that we've seen so far? Are we starting to get Divinity competitive, do we think?
I think so. I think so for sure.
I'm not convinced. Although the one card that I'm most scared about is that new Loki reprint. That Loki printing.
Remove
Just
all
because-
resonators from the game other than himself.
Yeah. The only thing that I worry about is that it makes strangers that pull things directly into the field better than the ones that pull into the hand. Like that's the only like real.
But we don't have
Oh,
any.
the
We only
purple
have.
one?
There's only 2
Melgus.
effects. There's only 3 effects currently that do that.
It's mostly Melgus. But
It's
Melgus
Faria's
Loki,
Faria's enter, Melgus's enter, and Melgus's
and
God
Melgus'
art.
God's art. Yep.
Well, Lenneth still does it.
She brings it to hand and then to field. Yeah, technically.
Yeah, so you get to like actually select when you're like wiping the board, which is
Yeah.
cool.
That's actually pretty interesting. You can play like double Loki in your.
I do like the fact that Tree Man ramps a stone in to play tapped, which is the proper way to ramp, and not just a free stone.
Yeah, none of that nonsense.
Mr.
I
Ryan
do like that
Miles
he's a tree
changing-
man. Yeah, the tree man got me. I think he's pretty good too. I think
If I get 2 foils of that, I'm gonna have you sign them at Vegas,
You got it.
so I can have
You-
signed Tree Man Ryan Miles.
signed Ryan Miles tree mans. Also signed the king if anyone wants, because I'm
No, you're not.
all right. You know.
Listen, I
I
told
like-
you, they made resonators for all of us.
I
We're
like
all
the Goddess of the Moon one, which is
Yeah, she's neat.
I mean it's the same way as the old there was
It's
the
just
2-drop with the Awakening that did the exact same effect, but only you only gained if
Demon
you
of
paid
the
Moon.
Black Moon.
Demon of the Black Moon. So like I liked that card. I thought that was a fun card to play around with, so making it a stranger is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, Baroost has me a little concerned, but also like I expected there to be something to be able to give them swiftness. Like you can't imagine the idea of red green and not imagine that there's going to be swiftness, like in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. So
Oh, that's Pumpkin Witch. Hey, boy, what's good?
yeah, it's
Okay.
Pumpkin Witch on a stranger. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that he can also give Pierce.
Yeah.
If you double awaken him, they're 2 separate abilities, right?
Correct.
So you can't Erendite both of them at once.
Correct. So you
Yeah.
steal the swiftness, right?
Yeah. But like the Pierce still gets there. He's got 10 attack when he's hitting you. Like
All of your guys get +2 attack.
yeah. Like I mean, he even by himself is 10. So like when you're just going la di da di da, just turn to stranger, like play Regalia against stranger. You're just like, oh, I'm Melgus Baroost on 2, and they're like, that's a big boy. Like what?
Well, it costs you 3 to awaken him, right?
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you don't like. So he's got a lot of utility, right?
Oh,
Because
sure.
on-
I think he's a
on
great
one-
card. I think all of the
Yeah.
strangers. I think I was talking about Mike with Mike before you got here for this podcast tonight. Is with the strangers that we're seeing, there's already a ton more creativity that you can put into stranger decks, right? And that to me makes me very excited. Anytime I see single color strangers, that gets me excited, because then it's like, oh cool, that's not just for one ruler. I can also put it in this. I can also put it in this. I can also put it in this. And so that's pretty cool. Like Baroost by himself just costs double red, right? So you could just abandon the idea of Awakening for green and put it in Lenneth or Melgus.
Vanilla 8/8.
Or a vanilla 8/8 for 2, or put it in Melgus or Lenneth. So like, hear me out on this. Like Lenneth being able to, especially with the goddesses, right? Lenneth being able to be like, play castle for 2, pay Baroost for 3, go.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, no, like the goddess castle into that seems
okay. Yeah, especially when you consider that as it stands right now, off of a castle, you can put into play 4 different goddesses.
Yeah,
Athena.
And one of them's Athena.
Yeah, one of them's Athena. Yeah, one of them's Athena. So then you're just like, oh.
Yeah, they will be big boys.
So I think that there's some really cool stuff that comes out of that, and Derrick is right in the chat. Don't cheat. I'm interested to see how much of an impact on Rune Rulers Don't Cheat has. Because that's clearly designed to be something to give Stranger Rulers the ability to combat Rune Rulers. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how much of an influence that has.
Was Don't Cheat a sword art or a mage art?
It's a sword art. So we know that Priscia has sword arts.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking Machina even. But yeah. If Machina's mage art, that hurts me a little bit. But if he's sword arts, that's kind of insane. Because then he gets to be like...
mage arts, but...
Yeah, he'd probably be mage arts then. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, Don't Cheat I think does a lot to like help the disparity. And I think like it's weird that it's in the Priscia deck, and that Priscias are only green regalia for sword arts right now, because like that card could just be good like statically in decks that just want to cancel chance anyway.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Even without the free costing stuff. So like I don't think Priscia is the deck that wants to just hold open will and say go. But like green is also the color of quick cast, so maybe I'm just wrong. I guess we'll have to kind of see like what else the deck is doing, because we've kind of gotten confirmation that the Sacred Beasts are coming back. So like the Sacred Beasts as are like not very good, and like you had back in the day, you had Priscia herself would let you play them for any color. You had Horn of the Sacred Beast, which could tap to produce will for Sacred Beasts, and Priscia's Regalia doesn't do that. So as of right now, like the Sacred Beasts are just like not good in Priscia or otherwise. So like I'm waiting to see like what else is coming to like make them this 4-color nonsense.
I have to imagine it's something. I have to imagine there's something.
Yeah, there has to be something, right? Like you can't just do this and then just be like, all right, go play your 3-mana turtle.
Especially since it's a starter deck.
Yeah, like that has to be something. Especially because it's a starter deck, yeah. So
Priscia is a starter deck. So there has to be something. There has to be something that makes it possible.
Yeah, maybe we do get Blessing of Yggdrasil, and that's the get you. They give us one of each magic stone in the structure deck, 4 red greens, and then they just give us here you go, Priscia. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could do it. Right. So you could do it with 4 red green, 4 Autorock Memoria, 1 blue stone, 1 light stone.
That's too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're right. That's too much.
Yeah.
All in all, though, some pretty cool stuff. I'm very excited about it. And I think Don't Cheat's potential impact is going to be important. I think the other thing, too, is Don't Cheat is not necessarily good. I mean, it's designed clearly to be used against... It's designed to be used against Rune Rulers, but it's also usable against cards that are cast from Graveyard with Remnants, or Perfect Loki trying to cast stuff
Another
from
reason Space-Time won't be unplayable, or will be unplayable. Ha ha ha. Don't Cheat, got him.
Don't cheat, got him.
Yes.
Yes, because it stops remnant things. It also, conveniently enough, is a way for non-blue decks to answer Shakti.
Yes, because it can cancel the copies.
Because it can cancel the copies.
Yep.
And non-blue decks up to this point are like, oh, that's a Shakti. Oops, I didn't remove it in time. Oops, 16 damage. Great.
Yep, I'm just dead. So that's pretty interesting. I think that's like a lot more relevant than I want it to be.
There hasn't been so far. I mean, to kind of close it out for the night. So far, there hasn't been anything that's been printed that I'm just absolutely like, why would they even think this is remotely okay to print? Or, gosh, this is so absolutely unplayable, even at a locals level. I'm never gonna touch this card. Like, so
Afank
far.
is pretty bad.
What?
Hey, don't talk shit about Beaver, okay?
Afank the Beaver is pretty bad.
Hey man, it got a
Otherwise,
person
yeah.
who was then later confirmed to be cheating to a top 8.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was a good old day. Oh boy.
I qualified for Worlds that day. That was a good day.
Yep. Blue Percival is very good.
Yes,
I like
Blue
this a
Percy.
lot.
Really
Okay,
good.
so here's a real quick thought.
Yeah.
What's Green Percy? Mike, you're not allowed to say anything at this point. What's Black Percy?
Terrifying.
Black
probably.
Percy might be like what? Send 5 cards to the graveyard, or like
Stop.
send 5 cards to the graveyard, pick one of them,
No.
put it in your hand, banish -2. Like
Look
what's
at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal a Regalia from your chant. I would say put the rest in your graveyard.
that
right?
it only
That's
can,
probably
that
the
it can only grab a Regalia and then it sends the other 4 to grave.
best. Maybe,
All of
yeah.
the rest to grave.
That
Yeah.
hurts me.
And then
just
you
thinking
banish
about
to do
that.
what? It'd have to be what? Banish to -2 something?
No,
-2, -2, or
Banish your opponent discards a card.
yeah, no, not discard. It
God.
would be like remove a card from your opponent's graveyard from the game. Probably.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You put my thoughts in about what the green one's going to be, so you know that.
That's when
Or some-
Shakti players play their own don't cheat and cancel 2 of your things. That doesn't work.
It's a sword art.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, yeah. Jeez Louise. Stop. Do they have 5 will? Do they have 6 extra will at this point to be able to do
Yes.
that? Like,
No, but like so they don't.
if I cast don't cheat, I'm playing it from hand, so you can't cancel that for free.
But follow me, right? So you just have a Shakti on the board, and
Cool.
then your opponent goes like Return of God, and then you're like Kaguya because you have Shakti and Kaguya in the same deck, and then they're like Erendite, and then you're like, don't cheat your rune for free, copy it, cancel your Erendite. I don't know why that would happen. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you get to cheat, don't cheat for free for one, and you get to just cancel a chant for the other.
This is,
That never
this
happens.
is
I play Don't
ridiculous.
Ever pulls that off, like, please PM me and let me know because I
So, moving on to Green Percival.
Green Percival.
So it's going to look at the top 5, grab your Regalia and something else.
Or a card.
It's relevant when like Power of Mortality exists, right? So you have a Shakti, they're trying to do something, you respond, you go
Right,
Power of
just
Mortality,
still
you're
on
just like Power of Mortality, also cancel your other thing. There we go. It's New Frontier is relevant.
Okay, so
Okay.
grabs you a... I'm ignoring Mike's version of Green Percival,
What
which
do you
is...
mean? It's perfectly balanced.
It's not. So,
Hey,
1
printed
drop...
Kaguya. It's fine.
So you get a 1 drop, you get a Regalia or something else.
A 1-drop wind resonator.
You think a 1 drop Wind Resonator, like further isolated?
No.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense. A wind resonator.
What rulers are we expecting to be green?
Prisia's
Arla.
green-red.
Yeah, but what in the future are we expecting?
Arla and
Arla,
Rezard
probably.
are probably both green.
Yeah. Green, white, and green, black,
So
probably.
Arla would probably be like the more thematic one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Maybe
sure.
like
Well, the other thing is
with
both.
flying.
So the other thing
Oh,
is
yeah, I was
both the
gonna say.
white and the red starter decks both had a Percival in it. So the question is, are we just going to see all the Percivals out of the way now, and Prisia has a Percy? I don't think that matches thematically. That probably doesn't
Yeah,
match
no.
thematically.
I'm pretty sure we're getting green and black in the next set.
Oh, green
Maybe.
getting green hitting a Regalia or an addition. That could be cool.
I was thinking that, but like I don't think
Interesting.
there's enough additions, and I don't think that Arla would be like an addition-based deck. Which, like, I agree with that. That'd be interesting, but I don't know which ruler that would.
So it
go
grabs
with.
you a Regalia and something else, not just
Yeah.
any card. Because
What
shut
do you
up,
mean?
Mike.
No.
Banish,
and then-
produce green.
Banish to produce one? No.
Stop.
No.
Banish
card.
to draw a card? Banish to draw a card?
That seems too
That
good,
seems
right?
also too good.
Managed to add a chant from grave to hand.
Also seems too good.
Also, yeah, none of the Percivals actually get a card, right?
None of the Percival's
Right,
banished effects
usually you-
actually get them a card, correct?
Yeah, they're all like some very minor
Yeah.
cancel target spell unless your opponent pays 1.
A Wall of Wind? That's what.
Stop.
That's literally
Don't
what
steal
he
my
put on it.
ideas.
Yeah, I know that was
So-
a joke.
I told you.
You
it was
told
a
Mike to
great
shut
idea.
up, so I wanted to say it. Yeah, I'm trying to think like what
Fun story about Blue Percival and Wanderer. It can search both bear and bow.
banish to put the top magic stone of your deck into the play.
Oh, there we go.
I'm just trying to
Untapped.
think of like what green's theme. Maybe like give something +2.
Yeah, I think it's like banish to give something a buff.
Yeah,
might
what's Green's
work.
theme, Ryan? Tell me. Go ahead. What's Green's?
I don't know,
Green's
man.
identity? Go ahead.
I've been playing a lot of Magic to like prepare for this like event this weekend and limited, and then like I started playing a little bit of Standard because it's more fun and I had a lot of cards. And green's the best color in that game too, and I just don't even know what green's identity in that game is because you draw cards and you put your graveyard into play, and it's all green is just too good everywhere I go.
Just play Hearthstone. It should be fine. Oh wait, Green's good there too. I don't know what's Green, but it's gonna be good
Hunter,
there.
I
Anyway.
think it's Hunter. and I think it is
Yeah,
good.
there you go.
You've
Okay, yeah,
broken
it's
it.
good.
We've solved it. It's not just Force of Will's problem. It's every game's problem.
Everything's great.
Yeah,
Shadowverse.
that's true.
Shadowverse, I think, is the only one that doesn't have it because it's purple in Shadowverse because Rune is the best deck, but whatever.
Okay.
Green. Oh wait, no. Runeterra is not green. Is not Sharks. Sharks is not green.
Rune Terror doesn't
No, it's
exist.
not.
That's fine.
Green is like Freljord, like the ramp color, and that like was the number
Ryan has
one
Green Lucate and Argent Saga.
/ number 2 deck. Green and Argent Saga. It was the best deck for a while.
Cool.
It's
Okay.
the best secondary color, I think, and has been for two formats now. So
Yeah. I think the bonus stats thing makes the most sense.
yeah, I could agree with that.
So I'm sorry to say it, Ryan. We did not have any new members join the channel tonight.
You guys have killed me. I'm about to.
We
sign
did
up
have
for
a very
it
active
myself.
chat tonight. We did have a very active
did.
chat tonight. So thank you guys so
Our
much for
members
being
are
a part of
good.
the chat.
We like
Again,
members.
Feel free. There is a link. I'm pretty sure there's a link down below, or you can just search Ruler School TCG on Facebook. Please send us a message for those of you who aren't members of the channel. If this idea of putting the chat behind membership is something that you're like vehemently against, or if you were okay with it or whatever. Ultimately, when we were talking about ways to potentially drive some engagement as well as means to build some additional support, because there's some projects that I would really like to work on for the channel, but just the financial support just isn't quite there. We thought that this was an easy non-committal way to get that for the people. Again, we will never ever put video content behind a paywall. You will always be able to watch these videos live when they happen. You just won't be able to participate in the chat if you remember. If people are super against it, we'll go back and we'll try to figure out something else. But even just clicking that join button and joining for $2 a month is a big support to what the channel does. So that is it for us tonight. Again, thank you guys so much for participating. Thank you to Mike for stepping in and hanging out with us tonight. That was a ton of fun. Glad to have you here.
I love
Thanks,
back,
Mike.
So
And we will see you guys next week. So until next time, this has been myself, Jeremy Franklin, and I've been joined by Ryan Miles.
Heyo.
And again, Mike Rance. And we'll see you next time. So until then, class dismissed. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace, guys.